Hello, everyone.
Hello, good morning.
For those of you who've come from Nadia's Instagram Live and you haven't been here before, do a little wave.
Welcome.
Do a little wave. Just wave at your screen. We can see you, even though you can't. Well, you can see us, but we can also see you. And I'm afraid today you've got the thumbnail of just a black screen. How are we all? It's a big day today. I've just posted on my Instagram all about the fact that it's a weird day. It's a great day. It's an exciting day, but it's a day of caution too. I think we can't if we throw caution to the wind, quote you'll see Jonathan Van Tam run down the street and rugby tackle you. Let's do this well once. It's the best quote of the whole thing. It's the most parental, meaningful, almost militaristic quote. It's like, I want Van Tam in my room all the time, just telling me little things like that. Let's do it well once. Like an umpire. Out.
Please take that food off my eyes being
Oh my
drawn
God,
there
that
again.
bacon. Have you noticed there's barbecue adverts all over YouTube at the moment? Every time we watch something, there's a barbecue advert coming up. Looking very buff, says Julie. Thank you very much. How are you both, says Sky Lee. Thank you for your message on Insta. I just saw it, Sky, before we went live. FIFA boy Darren, how are you? Sending you the best regards and a big shout out, matey Flip. Denise Nelson Gale, morning Nadia Mark. Can I have a birthday shout out for yesterday, please? Denise,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Denise. Happy birthday to you.
You don't get that from me often, but because you're Denise, you're getting that one there.
Denise. I'm so in love with you. Denise.
Did you see that Piers Morgan was really disappointed, apparently, with Susanna Reid's sort of remembrance and sum up of their relationship? He said, I got a better send-off from my ex-wife than I did. Yeah, he's really angry.
I didn't read that article.
He's really angry with Susanna Reid. And I think, I was trying to think...
What, you mean the next day after he'd walked out, when she did...
Well, yeah, when the news had finally broken that he'd left, I think he was describing her her description of him. And I thought she was all right, wasn't she? I thought she was very respectful and professional. I'm going to storm off, and I want you to give me your sort of... Give me your eulogy. No.
What do you
mean,
sit down and stop being silly. That's the eulogy you'll get.
Fucking hell. Imagine if Alex Beresford had said that to Piers. Sit down and stop being stupid. Maybe we'd all be here. Everyone would be happy.
Victoria Evans, morning. Been a member for a while, but usually stay quiet in the background. It's my second lockdown birthday today. Oh, but at least this year I won't be spending on my own. Have a lovely day.
Victoria Evans.
Happy birthday to you,
Vicky,
Victoria.
Vicky.
Happy birthday to you, Victoria. Happy birthday, dear Victoria. We're so glad you've come out from the shadows and said hello. Happy birthday to you. Everyone wish Victoria a happy birthday.
Yeah, everyone
you'll be able to have people with you this year. That's nice.
Send waving emojis to Denise and Victoria. Send waving emojis. Send party popper emojis. Hit the thumbs up.
Send barbecues.
Jump up if you can and do a little twirl. Yelp like a little chihuahua. Have you seen any? Maddie's memes more recently. The chihuahuas that are appearing in her memes are yet further proof that, did you know the Chihuahua is closest anatomically to the wolf than any other dog? And if you look at the Chihuahuas in Maddie's funny shit in the Sunday show, you can see that. They're all trying to howl like wolves. It's so sweet, but they've got no voice.
So funny, isn't it? They're most like wolves.
Most like wolves. Thank you, Sky. It was a good Sunday show yesterday, wasn't it? It was you know what? It's one of those shows that when you make them for television, the hope is that you've got enough of the right elements in it that even when it sags in one area for someone, it picks up in another area for someone else. Do you know what I mean? I always looked at a programme as a wheel, like a pie chart, and you just need to have a new narrative thought coming in every 5 or 6 minutes, just to keep people stimulated. That's what we do.
Pie.
A pie chart.
Could eat a pie now.
Oh yeah, no, pie would be nice, wouldn't it?
I love pie.
I'm doing a workout straight after
What's
this.
your favourite pie? Apple pie, chicken pie.
You know what I've always wanted to like, and always wanted a really nice one of, but they've always been a bit acrid and a bit. Is an American deep baked cherry pie. Do you know what I mean?
They're always too gluggy. They're always too gelatinous. And not quite sweet.
Yeah, not sweet enough, and they're always a bit.
You know why? Because they're always made with tinned cherries. I think if you had the most gorgeous,
luscious
cherries,
Yeah, although that's Sadie Foster's favourite too. Yeah, a nice cherry pie.
Lemon meringue pie is my favourite. I had a whole one on our
Pumpkin
wedding
pie?
day. Do you remember? Because I
Oh,
couldn't
I
have any
do.
booze because I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So I had a whole lemon meringue pie.
I went in for
myself.
the kiss, and she literally karate chopped me out of the way and face dived onto
And I'm sorry,
lemon
my
meringue.
love is
Yeah.
is
Your love is strong.
saved for the pie.
Your love is strong. Now, what was I going to say? So yeah, no, I was posting on Instagram today about the fact that it's okay to not be 100% okay with what's happening here. So people are excited and some people are worried. I think it's called nervous-sighted. I love it when you describe that emotion to the girls. You know, it's
Thank
like
you, Elias.
you are excited. I think we're all excited, but we're all a bit nervous-sighted. And I think we do have to bear in mind that as we, yet again, start to emerge from our shells, Europe is in a parlous state. And certain variants are running ragged. Brazil and Mexico, you don't even want to look at the numbers for Mexico and Brazil.
Awful. I was watching Dr. John Campbell. If you're new to us, we follow Dr. John Campbell, who is who's been a bit of a guiding light throughout this pandemic, because he just gathers the data from all around the world and just explains to you exactly in very clear, undramatic, in a very clear and undramatic way exactly what's happening. And yeah, he was talking about Brazil. He said, it's just horrendous. And what's so awful is it's hitting young people with no comorbidities whatsoever, no obesity, no nothing.
Yeah.
Which is just awful and unimaginable for them. But the good news is, as yet, they do think that all the vaccines, because don't forget, how many vaccines have we got now?
We've got the new Moderna one is about to land in 2 weeks.
All are efficacious against all the variants that are out there at the minute, which is incredibly good news. You know, so again, we got to think about how we're going to help the whole world get vaccinated. And we can't. Wealthy countries can't keep it all to themselves.
So I think it's really important that anyone who says be careful today isn't called a naysayer or a party poop. And I think it's important that anyone who's fearful doesn't sort of shadow over people's shine that this is a step forward. It's a real day for mutual respect of both ends of the spectrum, because I think for very different reasons, people will be fearful and people will be worried. A lot of people genuinely, just looking at the comments on Instagram and here, a lot of people don't feel that we are yet at the safest step to step forward due to very real reasons to do with their own health or the health of other loved ones in their family and what have you. So I think it's really, it's a pigeon step.
I think the photos that we were looking at yesterday in the papers of people going and getting huge trolleys of like 100 beers and you just think, don't go crazy.
But you see,
you can just have a few people around, just do that. Sorry, Natalie Reid. I have a chihuahua that can actually howl. I so want
oh my
Maddie
God,
to
well,
see
Natalie
it.
Reid, if you're on Instagram, please copy me in on it, because obviously Maddie and Kiki guard their Instagram, understandably. But do send it to us and I'll absolutely show it to
You can
Maddie.
put it in the Sunday
She
show.
might. She editorialises the funny shit, so she might say it's good enough for that. So you never know. I'd love to see a chihuahua that can
Hi,
actually
Jacqueline
howl.
Frost.
One thing I would say, and this is why someone was asking the other day, I am going to do a bit of a mental health chat about this, because for me, I know you think that I'm just worried about it. I'm not actually. I'm extraordinarily
Worried about what?
about lockdown easing and all that. I'm extraordinarily excited about the potential for me and like everyone else to grab life by the horns and run at things and do all those things and realise all those things that we want to do. Work, leisure, you name it, play, everything. And the reason I think people like me who were in recovery or were sort of a bit sober before they went into lockdown need to be careful now is there's going to be a giddy atmosphere. It's going to be a very giddy atmosphere that takes us all along. And it's not to say it's as simple as, oh, we're all going to a party, I'm going to pick up a drink, but just that sense of self, there's no better moment for someone who struggles with addiction or compulsive behaviour than to say, we've been through hell, I deserve this.
Now I can have a drink.
I deserve this. And on many levels, of course, you do deserve a reward. You've just got to be careful what the reward is. And I'm saying that to myself, because as we've all often said, as I'm trotting along,
It's the
doing
youngsters I
this,
feel worried about as well. I said to Maddie the other day, be really careful.
Really careful.
Don't just don't have like a summer of just utter
Hedonism.
madness, because that's what they're all planning.
Yeah. And I mean, and if it goes that way, there'll be all sorts of other collateral damage. So
Martin
it's just a word
Smith,
of
I've just
caution.
got so used to restrictions. It feels weird. I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of glad in a way that we're going slowly.
Graduated.
I mean, this is actually only a tiny thing.
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
We've just got 6 people. We're allowed to have 6 people in our garden for the next 2 weeks. And so it's quite a good way to get used to it.
Don't tell Nats, she's off to shoot something about being in a group of 6, I think, for Loose Women. And I've got 5 people coming as soon as she leaves.
5 girlfriends.
All my girlfriends are coming.
5 girlfriends are coming round.
They're all coming, and we're all going to do some Morris dancing in the garden, because they're quite pagan-like, these women. They sort of, yeah, it's quite fun. I'm looking forward to it. I had such a vivid dream last night.
Oh, God.
You don't want to know about it. It was incredibly vivid. Xander, on my way over. Come on then, Xander. Let's go and party. Have you got a Morris dancing hat? They hit each other with sticks, don't they, and stuff like that. I'm looking.
Oh God, Kerry Bedford is watching us on a 50-inch screen. No, Mark, do something for a 50-inch screen.
Yeah. I bet you wish you'd flicked it to 3D now, don't you? So lockdown is easing. There's a lot of discussion in the press today about the George Floyd trial, which of course starts
Today.
Coverage, and it's going to be covered in court
my God,
in America.
I really want to watch that.
And it's
How
real-
will we watch it?
I'm not too sure at the moment. I need to look into that. But Faith Goodman, I noticed you've been saying this from early on. George Floyd's sister was on GMB today, and she says their family believes all lives matter, not just Black Lives Matter. I think it's important for the world to know that this is how the family feel. And I think it is important. I also think it is key to stress that it's a dramatically different experience of the police in America for Black people than it is for white people. I mean, it's just, it can't be compared. But the fact that George Floyd's family are saying that, I think is good.
And here.
Oh no, and here, absolutely. And in fact, one of our chief inspectorates is today saying that the police has a profound sort of viability issue when it comes to policing in any sort of communities where, you know, it's principally a Black community, because they're just not trusted in any way, shape or form. Not trusted at all. I mean, there's a total breakdown in trust on a profound level. So the thing about the George Floyd court case is that it's going to be a really tricky one, this, if it doesn't go the way we all expect it to and think it should. Obviously, everyone has to have a fair trial.
If it doesn't, when when the whole world has witnessed the murder, then you know people are gonna feel utterly hopeless, aren't they?
Yeah. So I think it's
surely they'll fix it that this guy has to go away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unfortunately, you could. I mean, a lot of activists would argue that the system is tilted to fixing it the other way. So I think it's a really, and I know that they've been going through extraordinary lengths to select the right jury and all this kind of stuff.
That's why it's been delayed, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Do we do the same here where we question a jury? We don't, do we?
We don't have the same extent to which, what's it called, where you, it's called jury, I don't know, there's a phrase for it, isn't it? Where you essentially audition your jury members.
Yeah, so American.
And, but you're doing it to ensure that they don't have a vested interest either way, either side of the equation. But in such a racially charged case, it's very hard.
But where are the weaknesses in the case that there's even people are even discussing it? The whole world's watched it.
Yeah. Well, you've got the evidence. I mean, it's going to be it's going to be along the lines of. I mean, I'd have thought it's not going to be. They're not going to dispute what's happened. It's going to be the extent to which it was premeditated, and the extent probably of the conviction. I think that's going to be. It doesn't matter. I mean, I think it's going to be what he's charged for as much as whether he's charged. I think he's definitely going to be charged.
Sky News are covering the George Floyd. Sky News are.
So I mean, that's big news, and that's gonna move along, and it's something that I think we all should. It was a big moment in lockdown, a little bit like the Sarah Everard and the what is mushrooming in, which is also in our title today. The schools, what they're calling is Britain's schools Me Too moment.
Yeah. And
this is really, really important. You're probably sick to death of me doing this, but I want to keep talking about this because I'm a father to 4 daughters, and schools, the atmosphere and the cultures in these schools. A leading detective or police inspector who's head of a similar sort of operation to the operation that was revolving around the paedophile ring in Westminster. You know, he says that for sure he knows that there are cases of schools covering up rape culture. And what that essentially means is protecting culprits who happen to be underage. And this is a big deal. This is a really big deal.
Go and check out, we've mentioned it before here, a website called Everybody's Invited, started up by a young girl.
I think it's Everyone's Invited.
Well, everyone.
Yeah, no, just because if you search on Instagram, try Everyone or Everybody. I think it's Everyone's.
And it really is just, I mean, it will knock you for six reading all those stories one after another, and all the girls that that write their stories are anonymous, but they simply name the school underneath that they went to.
Yeah.
And it's all these, you know, very expensive private schools, isn't it?
Well, Dulwich College is in the frame now. One of the country's most senior...
So we got married.
Yeah, in that building there.
Yeah.
One of the country's most senior police officers has said he believes that schools have covered up sexual offences to protect the school's reputation.
Because it's a brand.
Absolutely.
Of course it is. It's a business.
Yeah. It's
a business, and all these private schools are registered charities, so they don't even pay tax, do they?
And it is called Everyone's Invited website. His comments come after thousands of anonymous testimonies of abuse in schools from students and alumni were shared on the Everyone's Invited website. Police are working with the Department for Education and are prepared to investigate historical claims. Detectives this is massive. Detectives will model their approach on the National Football Child Abuse scandal, where police received more than 2,000 referrals involving 330 clubs. And they are equating this. They're saying this is the educational establishment's Me Too moment. She's the first female head of Magdalen College who told pupils to ask their mothers and sisters about the sexual harassment. We talked about her a couple of weeks ago. And this is wise advice. But, you know, so the Instagram account that Nadia's talking about has had over it's an Instagram account, has had over 7,000 testimonies.
No, it's a website. I've looked on the website. It's not Instagram.
But the most... You go to it via the Instagram account. That's what's being advertised in all the articles.
I just pumped it in and went to the website, and that's where all the stories are.
Yeah, and you can click. There might be a website you click through to, but the thing that's been advertised in all the news stories about it is check out go straight to the Instagram account, and then there will be links from there. So go to Everyone's Invited. Is that right? Everyone's...
Or just pump into Google, Everyone's Invited, you'll get to the website, because that's all it...
It's received over 7,000 testimonies, and those numbers are growing exponentially.
So disturbing when you read it. But you know what? For most women, you're going to read it and you're not going to be the least bit shocked as well. That's the awful thing. You're shocked, you're not shocked. We've just got
you're
so
shocked, you're not
used to
shocked.
it.
Yeah, exactly. This is not an issue solely to do with private schools either.
No, of course not.
And it's really important. There's a really important post on the Instagram account of Everyone's Invited today talking about what parents can do. And I think we're quite keen to talk to the woman who runs it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, one of the key things to do is a lot of young women, because attitudes to sex and intimacy and intergender relationships are so warped in some scenarios, and because there's been so little guidance for so many young boys, so little, that a lot of girls or young girls aren't even aware that they've been essentially attacked, abused, or taken advantage of.
They just think it's the norm.
And I think this is about being able to talk to your children, because your daughter may be labouring under an extraordinarily difficult experience that they haven't even thought of.
They think it's just normal.
Yeah.
Like the girl that started up the website, she said all these things that happened to her, she thought it was just part of what happens when you mix with boys.
Precisely.
Part of going to a party,
do with that?
part of being in a corridor, part of being in a history class sat next to someone. She just thought it was the norm because she'd never had a conversation about it.
Absolutely. So that's a big story. So, you know, two massive, you know, the George Floyd, Black Lives Matter again back in the frame, and the Me Too movement. It seems it's cute. It's intriguing that almost at the beginning of the end of this crisis, in some regards, you know, we've got to maintain our sort of magnifying glasses over these topics. Do you know what I mean? Mm. I think don't let them disappear. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Shop Out to Help Out, which a lot of people are talking about. Can I just ask a quick binary question? Do people worry that we could be about to repeat the same errors of last summer? Do you remember Eat Out? Was it Eat Out to Help Out? Was then after the
He
event.
was on the telly the other day. He defended it quite well, Rishi
Did he?
Sunak. Yeah.
But I
He
think
kind
there
of like brought me back round again.
But there's a sort of grassroots feeling that it possibly wasn't the greatest thing to do. Do you think by potentially
wasn't-
shopping out to
there
help out,
wasn't-
we could be encouraging more
But at
problems?
the time we were doing the Eat Out to help out, the numbers weren't high, and they didn't really get high again until we came into the next season and the variants came in. I don't think it was actually to do with Eat Out to help out, was it?
Well, I don't know. A lot of people felt it was.
Yeah, well, he actually quite convinced me.
I mean,
but he's
most
a
people here are
politician.
saying, yes, you do think. So, because of course, the plan is for shops to open until 10 p.m. most weekdays in order to spread out footfall and maximise, the economy and all that. But also, paying people or incentivising people to buy stuff, I guess, with vouchers and money off deals and stuff like that. Is that something that would... is that going to, do we run the risk of sort of, I don't know, encouraging people all to get closer again? I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Coming out too quickly or not.
Yeah, as Laura Lou says, a huge chunk of people going out are not vaccinated because they're aged 35 to 45.
Yeah.
What's happening with that? When are we going down? When are we working our way down to the next?
I think, I keep hearing, the focus at the moment, because it's got lumpy.
It's the Moderna.
The focus is on the Moderna, but also at the moment, they're prioritising second jabs, aren't they? I think, did I see yesterday it was only 6.7 million have had their second jabs or something? Something like that, was it? It's not an awful lot. But
Just Googled it. It's a website. Thank you.
But something else I wanted to flag up and talk about with you guys today was something that me and Nad saw yesterday. Did anyone see the images of the test case crowd in Barcelona? 5,000 people for a gig.
Yeah.
And this was allowed as a test case. I think they're probably going to monitor...
And every single one of them with a face mask on to just see what would happen.
Yeah.
Outside with a face mask on.
It was kind of
Very-
chilling and liberating.
Yeah, 'cause you just thought, I didn't want Maddie to see it 'cause I didn't want Maddie to think that that's going to be the experience of everything now.
It was funny you should say that, because I was going to show her a photo of it. And
Yeah.
no, but I was trying to find a
Depressor.
photo from behind everyone's heads.
Yeah.
So it looked potentially exciting. I thought, and then I said...
We have to give these
Yeah.
these bits of information out very carefully to young people because they can...
Sarah Clemmy, Amsterdam. Hit the thumbs up, guys, if you're enjoying our vast-ranging conversation about so many different topics today. Hit the thumbs up if you're enjoying having a chat. K-Ray, I'm 41, and as soon as I can, we'll get vaccinated. If vaccinated first dose, you still have to do the precautions anyway. Absolutely. Amsterdam concert, they didn't wear masks. Sarah Clemmy. They all had negative COVID tests. So it'll be interesting to see when they
that's
come...
right. They all had a negative COVID test as well.
But I think they are going to
Right.
monitor also what happens to them all, because
But the thing is, they could leave that and catch it somewhere else.
Yeah, true. I think one of the most important things for everyone to get their head around, it's not about whether the other variants are dealable with a vaccine. It looks like they probably are. It's that the more that any of this COVID is sifting around all our bodies, and apparently studies have shown that variants happen most in a long COVID state.
I know.
Variants happen most when they are incubated in some part of the body. So, for example, this is really weird, but I'm convinced that my major symptoms, if I've had COVID, were around really awful intestinal pain.
And we think we probably did have it because Maddie definitely had it and we were all living together, so...
But it was around intestinal pain, and then the only symptom I had, which was bad the night after I had my vaccine, was the same intestinal pain. And so all of the studies show that sometimes, that... So
that really flamed up after my vaccine.
So it's not that most of the 30-year-olds or people who aren't vaccinated are going to get ill necessarily, but it's the fact that it could just provide sort of exposure for the virus to develop, mutate, and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's the curate's egg that they're trying to kind of rationalise, isn't it? All of that. And also, there's another really interesting piece of news today. Yeah, the cargo ship in the Suez Canal has been moved a bit. Have you heard about this at all?
Yes.
Has it left you cold?
I can't believe how... Well,
I can't believe how something so simple can almost bring the world
so
to
extraordinary, isn't it? It's going to affect the price of oil. There's going to be shortages of all sorts of things across the world. And where it is, it's just nowhere near a town or a city, so it's really, really hard. I mean, at one point, there was this great shot of this tiny digger with this great, huge ship.
It was on the front of the Daily Star.
You just think, how are you going to do it?
Yeah. But apparently they've nudged it. And it's just this idea that for me, it was analogous to this one ship was like a massive plug, a sink plug to the world. It's like pull it out and the whole world sort of flows out, or block it and the whole world gets blocked.
Been reading lots of your comments throughout this. They're
Okay.
so engaged, Art.
I know.
They're so brilliant.
Did you get some more cream, Ned?
I've ordered
your
it, yeah.
arms?
Thank you.
Yeah, because it was flaring up again, wasn't it?
So, guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're the first time with us, because you'll miss out if you haven't hit the subscribe button and the notification bell.
Yeah.
So, and hit the thumbs up thumb.
And as
Underneath it.
Reese Roberts says, as black people, we just don't want to tirelessly defend our humanity and right to live. We just want equality, love, and acceptance, things that every human being is entitled
Must be
to.
exhausting.
Absolutely. No, I agree.
Thank you for that, Reese.
Yeah, thank you. Guys, stay safe. We've got 2 welcomes to do. So I'm going to hand you over to Nadia's beautiful dulcet tones. We have Louise Jones, who has joined as a family guest.
Louise Jones, welcome to our little family studio, Louise Jones.
I could almost see her.
I was doing scales.
You were amazing. It was like you were going up steps and then you were coming down. Okay, well, it fell off a cliff there. And Amy Murray Jones.
Amy Murray Jones, welcome. Sonella Martina,
You always end up in the same place. Amy Murray Jones, welcome. Can I just say, if anyone is not averse to subtitles, please check out Call My Agent. It is so funny.
So good. It's our favourite.
On
It's our
Netflix.
delight.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
our chocolate at the end of the night.
And it has every major lead famous sort of female and male French actor. It's very funny. Get past the first 2 episodes as it's setting itself up. Especially if you like stuff about show business and the entertainment world and what agents do. It's very, very good. Do check it
Group
out.
hug.
Group
Come on,
hug.
Xander.
Coming in. Sorry for whoever it was who had a 50-inch television set. Lots of love, guys. Stay safe. Have a good day today. And remember, it's okay to not be okay when everyone else around you is happy. And try not to pull people down who are happy. You know, tolerance of each other.